Hello everyone, the 316 here with another Marvel Legends Target exclusive figure review. Target recently just restocked the Psylocke versus Thanos 2-pack. It goes for, I think, $67.99? I think after taxes I paid around 75-ish. Listen, it's a lot of money to pay for a 2-pack, but given that this isn't, two smaller figures, this is one smaller figure and one bigger figure, or if you look at it, a Psylocke figure with a Thanos accessory. I don't feel bad for paying what I did because it's retail, or at least the new retail price, I guess. And they should still be available on Target, Target.com, Target app. But as soon as I saw this 2-pack get announced, I was like, two things. I gotta have it, and I know it's gonna sell out quickly. And it did. And for months and months and months, I was looking on eBay, hopefully looking to score a good deal. What happened was, the exact same day, in the morning, I had bought it on eBay for about $90. And then it got stocked at Target, and thankfully I was able to cancel my eBay order and they refunded me. But just just my luck, you know? But anyway, finally got shipped, sent out, and here it is on Valentine's Day of all days. So in the comments below, let me know who your Marvel crush was. I think mine's probably Gwen Stacy. But anyway, really glad to have this 2-pack finally. Another great X-Man character. And we got Thanos over here, the Thanos accessory, right? But I like the box. You got Gamerverse all across the top of it. On this side, you got Thanos in the pixel art as well as the figure. And you got Psylocke on this side with Marvel Legends series. On the back, looks good. It's supposed to look like the one stage for Marvel vs. Capcom. The grid, I'm not sure. Gives me Tron vibes. Weirdly, there's a little cutout here on the side. Didn't notice that before. And then there is the barcode if you're looking to get her. But can't wait to open this up. Really excited. Let's get it open. Alright, now we can take a look at their accessories. We'll start with Thanos. Thanos, he only comes with one. He comes with an Infinity Gauntlet Snap left hand. And that's it. If you want to see it on the figure, you just... Ugh, this is... There we go. Pull off the fist. Then just put it down. And then obviously he can hold it like so. Snap his fingers. And all of the stones, or gems in this case, are painted. Really like that. Glad they included that at the very least. I think it's one of his attacks in the games. I mean, I would assume so. Why would they include it, right? But, as someone who doesn't have a Thanos until now, I'm glad that it came with that, at the very least. But, yeah, that's Thanos' accessories. He gets one. But, truthfully, the major star of this 2-pack is Psylocke. And she comes with quite a lot of accessories, but she's missing one that I really don't like. She doesn't come with a katana. Yeah, she doesn't come with like a whip or a katana. Nope. She comes with effect pieces though, and we'll start off with this one that goes around her head sculpts. It kind of looks like a pair of sunglasses, but on this side it has a little clip, and I think you just kind of shove it on there. Trying to. Maybe I should have did this off camera. I should have done this off camera. Alright, I'm doing it off camera. I was able to get it to work, but only on the alternate head sculpt. There is a little cutout on her left eye here. It's a bit hard to see, but you can see there's like a square cutout right there. And then that fits into the square cutout. And the other side, it looks like it's supposed to go over the ear, but there's like no hole there. At least on my copy. I think they're supposed to be, but it holds for a few seconds, and then it's just meh. But I probably won't use this, but I did want to point out, it's hard to see again on camera, but it's two-toned. It's got that clear pink, and then it's got the more opaque around the eye part. I like that. And since we're here, here's her alternate head sculpt. It looks good. I really appreciate the two-tone hair with the purple underneath, and then the slight purple up top, and, the black as well. And then, there's her regular face sculpt, which I'm going to keep on the figure, but I thought I'd show you the more angry looking one. There's her neck peg, by the way. It's a dumbbell. That looks good for a more dynamically posed figure. But as I don't have the room yet, I'm going to use the other head sculpt. But I like how this one looks on the figure. And I'm glad she came with an alternate head sculpt. They don't do that too often. I think the last female Marvel Legend figure that was Target exclusive to have one was Mystique. And then I can't remember beyond that. Other effect pieces, she comes with 2 more. Actually, 3 more. She comes with these ones, which I guess they're supposed to yeah, she has trouble standing. It's supposed to represent, her attacks from the game, and they're supposed to go on the figure's wrists, but they don't want to stay on. I tried to use the guide on the back of the box, but this one but they're both like molded so that they're this way, so you can tell which one goes on which side. It doesn't really matter. Let's be real, it doesn't matter. So what I found works best is if you take her alternate 2 pointing finger hands, and then there's a little hole on both of these. You can see that. They're very similar, but they're not the same. But you can slide that through and they'll hold just fine, but then that wrist port right there doesn't get used. And then when you try to use the wrist port, the hand doesn't go through. You could also try to do that, but it don't work. But yeah, you can put the wrist through, but it doesn't hold on the hand. And then if you want to rotate it, it looks okay. And of course you can get it into better poses. But I'll show you the other one as well. So again, there's a little hole on this one. There you go. And then you can just push your fingers in there and it works just fine. These effect pieces are okay, but she comes with 1 more, which is more of like an energy blast, and she can really use this with any of her hands. None of them get in the way. I'll probably display the figure with this until I can find a katana for her that isn't my Deadpool's. He's going to keep those ones. Although, I'm trying to think, who of my figures has a katana? Maybe I'd have to look into my DC multiverse stuff. I might have one. But, until then, she's going to be using that effect piece on my shelf. And then there's her 2 pointing finger hands. I believe the flesh tone is painted on top of the purple. Yeah, flesh tone's painted on top. And then she has 3 hands that have no matching other hand. So she's got a holding hand for a katana. She's got a left-handed fist, and she's got a right-handed open hand. And I do like that one. You can get some more dynamic poses with her. Like, maybe she's like, right? She's just gives you an idea. Something you could do with Psylocke. But, really upset she didn't come with matching hands or a katana, but I'm glad we got this figure because it's excellent. But before we look back at Psylocke, let's look at Thanos. Thanos, I believe, is almost complete reuse. The only new thing here is maybe his nice, squishy, spongy orange shoulder guard and his head. And let me go ahead and take a look at that head. It's a nice looking Thanos head. I like it. It's reminiscent of the game it comes from, or it's supposed to represent. I mean, if you look at the pixel art there, you can see his big red eyes, and it works well. Now this Thanos is more of a purple and orange, and obviously I have, this background here, but if I put that in front of it, it's a little bit easier to see that it's purple and orange. Or, do I have something blue around here? All right, down here, I forgot. So if I put him up against the blue here, you can see that that's much more purple. It's hard to capture on camera, but I like this Thanos. I didn't have one, so I'm glad I have one finally. And I like it. Looks great. We'll go into articulation in a little bit here, but Psylocke. Obviously, this is what most people bought this pack for. Big fan of Psylocke's character design. I really like her power set too. I remember a lot of people were demanding a new Psylocke figure, and well, I think this is the gold standard. It's so excellent. It looks good proportionally. incredibly well done figure, and I don't say that too often about the Marvel Legends figures, but you know, when a figure is so good, you just sometimes have to buy it. And obviously, I wanted a Psylocke, and I'm so glad we got this one because it's really, really good. You know, I'm not sure where to start here, but paint work is really well done. She's got the, you know, the magenta belt there with the black X on her, I guess, off to the side belt. Although, shouldn't the belt be lower than that, like towards the waist, not at the midsection? I don't know. I do kind of wish that was a free floating piece so that it could be like angled. It's fine that it's molded on there. They gave her some bazongas. I think this is like the Marvel Legend like bazonga figure. I mean, they gave her some cake too, but I think that actually looks reasonable because like she's got thick thighs. Like these are some juicy thighs, man. Like I go to a chicken restaurant and the thighs ain't that thick. You know what I'm saying? But uh, I don't feel like it's overly sexualized. I feel like it's just right, like just in that area of not too much, not too little. I think it looks good. I don't have any issues with it. Uh, Paintwork is it matches pretty closely. So if you look at her ass here, you can see that this is a molded skin tone, whereas this on her ass proper is a painted skin tone. It's on camera. I think it looks worse. In person, it's a little bit better. I think in the upper section here, where it's painted and molded, it's actually harder to tell. When you look at it like dead on or like real up close, you can definitely tell like it's a different color to the others. But from a distance, I think it looks just fine. It's always hard to match those paints. I don't think anything on this figure is painted purple besides these straps and maybe these hands. I'm trying to see. No, I think that's the painted. It's really hard to tell with these hands. I can't tell. It actually looks like a mix of both. Like these, this skin tone almost looks more pink. Like it's not as dull as this one, and it's not as flat as this one. Like I can't tell if this is painted purple or molded purple. I'm pretty sure this is painted skin tone. Again, really hard to tell. This Psylocke, she's got a ton of paint, you know, on all of the hands, the head sculpt. It's really well done. I got no bad things to say about the sculpt or the paint here. I guess we can get into articulation now. We'll start with Thanos since he's less interesting, mostly reuse. The head here, it does a 360. He can look up high. Can't look any farther down than that. My midsection piece, it likes to rest toward the front more. So there's his crunch forward. Get the arm out of the way. And his crunch backwards pretty good. I'd keep him in that pose, but he looks weird. Like, you know, are you trying to intimidate me? That's not what Thanos sounds like. But arm-wise, he can almost do a T-pose. Well, let's see. Let me try pushing it a little bit. Okay. He can definitely do a T-pose. That does do a proper T-pose. And obviously with the shoulder pad in the way, he can't do a proper 360, but it will squish out of the way for you. Although on my copy, it likes to bend the torso. And then he has Hulk's articulation for his arms here. So he can swivel this part, and then he can swivel this part independently. And then he does have a hinge joint. It doesn't get quite 90 degrees because of these, gauntlet pieces, which probably removable, but I think they're glued on. So, good luck with that. And then his waist piece here gets in the way of the articulation down here, but he does have a thigh swivel. Nice and crunchy if you can hear it. And then that's as far out as a split he's going to get. Kick forward wise with the skirt, it's okay. Not great. And then he's got the double jointed knee. So that section can go that much. Trying not to get my finger in there. Don't want to do it again. And then the lower section can get that much. And then all together can get that much. And then you saw here that his foot can go back pretty far actually. And then go forward, not much. And then he's got a pivot. It's a pretty good pivot. decent amount of articulation on Thanos. Obviously, he's got the, that arm, not arm, but, if he has an Assassin's Creed hidden blade, he could do that. So yeah, Assassino. I've been playing Assassin's Creed a bit lately. Unity, actually. But Psylocke's articulation, obviously with the hair, she's not going to have too much articulation backwards or even side to side, but there's enough side to side, I'd say. And then she can look down that much. I really would have preferred if she had the standard disc hinge like Thanos does. Oh wait, he doesn't. Interesting. Okay, he doesn't have the disc hinge, but the disc hinge, I think it would have worked for her better. But and going into the arms, she can do a proper T-pose, nothing above that. And then, of course, you got the 360 there, and you got this very good butterfly joint going backward, not so much forward though. That's what that looks like. And then in standard position, she's got a swivel at the shoulder there. She's got double jointed elbows, which she could probably touch her own shoulder with the right hand sculpt. And then she has the ab crunch with a diaphragm cut, and then that obviously can, tilt side to side and then spin all the way around. And then with the ab crunch, she can go forward that much and then back all that much. It's not really a lot, but it's better than some female Marvel Legends get. Sometimes they have this entire piece here fused. And then legs, she doesn't get like a great split, but she gets a good enough one. She can't, because of her thick thighs and big booty, she can't push her leg back at all. But she can actually kick forward, although it is off to the side a little bit. And then I thought the boot cut would be here. Nope, it's right here. She has the boot cut right there. Thought that was interesting. I honestly couldn't tell. I thought it would be down here, because that's where the mold indication is. And then she's got double jointed knees here. She can't kick her own ass, unfortunately. But you got the foot crunch here, forward and back. And then you got the pivot. But excellent articulation on Psylocke, not so much on Thanos. One thing I forgot to point out, of course, was the background here that comes with them. I'll probably keep it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. I'll just junk it at some point if I don't. But nice to have that. I always appreciate when Marvel Legends throws in something like that. I wish DC Multiverse would do that. They hardly ever. But I can go ahead and move this out of the way now so we can get into the size comparisons. Excited for this one. So Psylocke here, she stands at... she's just over 6 inches tall. Not quite 6 1/4, maybe, 6 1/8? Sounds about right. And then Thanos here, at the top of his head is 7 1/2. At the top of his horns is more like 7 3/4. Let's go ahead and move them over. Put Thanos there. Psylocke here. Then we can see them next to all of our other figures that we got. She's about the same height as the Dino Thunder Black Ranger. Thanos, he's actually probably the second tallest next to Atrocitus. The only other close one would probably be the Spartan Yoroi back there. He's just kind of hiding behind Samoa Joe. But yeah, these look pretty good in scale with most of the others. She'd fit in with the G.I. Joes too, even. How tall is she next to Spider-Man? She's a little bit shorter. So, looks pretty good. And here is Psylocke with the rest of those lady X-Men. Of course, you got Phoenix back there, although she is on her stand. Kind of hard to see. She doesn't stand too much taller. Emma Frost is still probably the tallest back there. You got Storm, you got Rogue, you got Mystique there, and there's Black Cat from Gamerverse as well. But yeah, she looks good next to the rest of the X-ladies I have. Really glad she fits in just fine. She's also the most pale, I would say. Maybe next to Emma Frost. I'm not sure. Emma might be the same paleness. Yeah, I think Psylocke has a bit more of a pink tone to her skin. But over here, we got Thanos with the rest of the Avengers and Deadpool and Wolverine. I really need to get some new shelves, man. They're getting pretty full. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below. If you're getting this 2-pack, you definitely should. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel. And as always, peace.